My first contact with any sort of history as a child was through my aji or paternal grandma who used to tell me stories. These stories ranged from Ramayana Mahabharat to Aji's own life stories, which she considered important enough to share with us. I still remember that I particularly looked forward to every evening, and while listening to these stories, a certain kind of happiness bloomed inside me. And like every other child, while listening to these stories, the characters used to come alive in my mind. Whether it be Sri Ram taking his arrows out ready to fight, or be it Abhimanyu entering the Chakravyuha only to get lost on his way out, or be it Shivaji Maharaj killing the wild Afzal Khan. Though most of my childhood memories have blurred out with time, even to this day, these storytelling sessions are strongly imprinted on my mind, even to this day. Growing up, history was also quite appealing in my school as I enjoyed reading the French Revolution, the Boston Tea Party, the Indian independence movement. But when it came to exams, I failed miserably at remembering chronological years and dates, which were quite strongly emphasized on us as students. One incident that I remember particularly in my school was from Marathi class when the teacher had given us an assignment to do in our summer vacation, and that was that each student had to read a book in the vacation and discuss it later when the school reopened with the whole class and the teacher. Luckily and coincidentally, I had done my assignment and I shared with the class that I had read this book called Ek Hota Karwar, which is a Marathi translation of the same English book. And the teacher was quite impressed and praised me for it. But back home, my parents also used to take me out to these plays based on Shivaji Maharaj, which were written by his biographer, Baba Sahib Purandare. Skip to 5 years after school, I accidentally came upon a TV series called Ancient Aliens, which was based on history. I found this series quite interesting and appealing that I don't know why, but I bought like a half a dozen books on Egyptian history and read them all in my vacation. Back home, my father is an avid historical literature reader, and you can just say that he has his research well done. After graduation, my brother recommended this book by Dr. Vikram Sampath, which was a biography on Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, and it was a life changer for me because I got to know so many things about our Indian history that my history textbooks in school failed to even mention little things. And so my interest in the subject grew rapidly, and I finished all the books which were written by the aforementioned author. And as I had no exams to appear for the literature that I read, I naturally delved deeper and swallowed literally every other book that I came across on Indian history. There were things like the Mughal invasion, the British colonization, the Indian independence movement, other than Satyagraha or other than Gandhi centric story, and the kingdoms which ruled India way before thousands of years before the Mughals came, even knew about a place like India. Whenever I visit any historical monument, I make it a point to read about the history of that particular place. And when I do actually visit the place, I get to imagine the real incidents that happened over in that place, the wars, the treaties, the conversations, etc. I imagine people living without electricity, without any digital evolution. I imagine Indian revolutionaries with nothing but pride for their nation, who worked effortlessly to build up a social network overseas, who relentlessly traveled in ships for 3 months without any luxuries, with only one hope to see their countries independent. I imagine young Shivaji Maharaj with his handful Maoris trekking the Sahyadris in dark, rainy nights with only one common glimmer in their eyes, Sampurna Swarajya Sthapana. and that is how I fell in love with history.